Well, tell me, what has been the biggest change in your job in the last year?
It hard to say, but because I don't have the change. That means it's not big. I only have some small change that don't I didn't do some job in tasks. For example, I can um, yeah, it a little bit hard in English. So I mean, sometimes I didn't do. So I uh, assign assign my colleagues to do it. So that means I have more free time for studying English or studying a new skill.
Yeah, of
So,
course.
but it's not a big change.
Yeah, got
Some
it.
little, yeah,
Yeah, of
little change.
course. Well, okay, so yeah, it was not a big one, but the problem is, when you want to say it's actually, this is about last year. So,
Mm.
yeah, you should use present perfect. That is really important. Okay.
Mm. Mm.
So, actually, this way is better. So, I haven't made a big change, just, maybe some small roles. Okay.
Yeah.
So I assign a part of my job to my colleagues. That way, I've had more free time to study. So you
Yeah.
assign a part of your work to your colleagues. That way, you have had more free time to study. So this one is better. Okay. So, and how easy or difficult has it been? Let me say something about pronunciation that's really important. What I hear, of course, I understand, but
Yeah.
if I didn't like know or what you mean or what you were talking about, I would definitely hear the word change at chain, really, because the
Yeah.
pronunciation was exactly the same as chain. This is
Yeah.
change. First, we don't say a because this is
Mm.
change, and I should hear that G like J sound the end because we have some
Okay.
pronunciation rules.
Yeah.
Sometimes if it's no matter if you don't pronounce a word maybe
Mm.
completely because we can get,
Yeah.
but sometimes it's
Mm.
important, especially the stress is important and vowel sound. So it's to say a or because it can easily change the meaning. So it's hard to say because I don't have, yeah, you said what I heard, especially with I don't have what chain. You said
Mm.
I don't have the chain. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I can easily change your answer to another answer. Okay.
Yeah.
So you need to pay more attention when pronouncing some words. Okay, try to. Of course, I know because the difference between the two
Yeah.
languages. So a target
So can
language. Yeah.
yeah, can I try? Can I try
Of
again?
course, again, yes.
Change
Change.
and yeah,
Yes. Yes.
and change. That means opportunity, right?
Yeah.
So
Chance.
change.
No, listen. Chance, change, chain. They are completely different. This is chance. Chance is opportunity. Chance.
Yeah.
Okay.
Change. Change.
Chance. I should
Change.
clearly hear that sound at the end. So
Yeah.
chance, but
Yeah. Change.
change. Yes.
Yeah. Change.
Yeah,
Change.
chance. Yes, chance. And
Change.
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 Yeah. Change.
Yes, change.
Change.
Yeah.
Yeah. Change. And
But if you say
change.
chain, if you say
Yeah.
chain and
Yeah.
I can't hear the J sound, I feel
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
you are saying chain. So it's change, chance. And
Yeah.
yes. Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, and how easy or difficult has it been for you? and the people you work with to deal with. Of course, you haven't, so I'm not gonna I'm not gonna ask this question because you haven't made any changes. Okay. Overall,
Mm.
do you think the change is so changing something or making changes is beneficial?
Yeah, the first thing is very important that I have time for my um, personal job or personal tasks. The second thing that is yeah, my colleague can they can grow with that task and they practice and grow. So I think in the long term they can do some tasks for me and they can grow in their job.
Yeah, very good. Of course, now was more understandable, clear. Yeah.
Yeah,
And well, the first you said the first is very important. Let's change it.
yeah,
You should change it.
yeah,
Okay. If you want, you can easily say the first important thing is. The first important thing is that I have time for my own work or personal task. The
mm,
second is that my colleague can develop skills by working on those tasks and grow professionally. So this is the better version of your answer. So in the long term, as you said, they will be able to handle some of my tasks and advance in their career. So I have some different words here. Why I would prefer to use these words instead of yours because I want to make it more natural, like,
yeah.
natural American. And so this way is easier. So you can say, I have time for my own work and personal tasks and they can develop their skills. We normally develop our skills. So you can say, how? By working on the task I've assigned them. And they grow professionally. So, and in long term, as you said, they will be able to handle some of my tasks. And of course, again, I don't want to say develop again. So I say advance in their career. So advance, develop, grow. I have three words that I can use to answer this question. Okay. And your screen is freezing. Can you hear me? It's completely freezing. Hi. Hello. Hello. I can't hear you. Ah, okay. What happened?
Hello. I'm
Oh,
sorry.
you're back. It's okay, no problem.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, well, okay. So, let's keep going with listening. Okay. Um,
Yeah, yeah.
okay, just When a business or organization proposes changes, what can go wrong? Yeah, really, when a business or maybe organization proposes changes, what can go wrong, you think?
Yeah, yeah,
So what do you think? What is your answer to this question that when a business or an organization proposes changes, what can go wrong? Maybe the negative side of it.
yeah. That mean try to think about the
The negative side of
a
change. The negative side of
sorry
change. Can you hear me?
neg- yeah, yeah, yeah. Can you say again
Of
the
course.
negative?
I'm talking about the first question here. Talking
Yeah,
about change. I'm asking you, really, when a business or organization proposes changes, what can go wrong? So of course we have
yeah,
positive and negative side. So I'm asking about the negative side of
yeah,
change.
yeah. I think the first change maybe come from the employee because they don't want to change something. They just want to keep going in the same way what they are doing. In I think maybe in the second thing that the change maybe affect into the our customer or our market. So maybe because maybe we cut or in cut the resources for support customer or maybe the effect into the. So I think Mm, but I think when the business or organization change, they have the reasons to do it. Uh, they they think that the change maybe helps the company grow and increase in the future. Yeah, but maybe make maybe effect into the employee and customer.
Yeah, of course. So yeah, you said the first you think this actually change maybe resistant to change often comes from employee and maybe they don't want things to change. So
Yeah,
they resist. So we can say the
yeah,
first resistance to change often comes from employees. Why? Because they don't want to change.
yeah,
They don't want things to change. They just want to keep going or keep doing things the way they've always done. So, and the second impact, as you said, uh, impact of change, this may affect your customer or the market, as you mentioned, because of course it reduces, yeah,
yeah,
resources for customer support or for services. So, which impact them directly. So, yeah, of course, there is always a good reason for it, but there are some negative side that we need to consider. Well, listen to a presentation about change management and 5 steps of the ADKR model. Write what each letter down. So ADKAR. Okay, so let's see. Write each
yeah,
letter stands for. So let me play this.
yeah.
11.1. Okay, 11. One.
Unit 11. 11.1.
Whenever companies and organizations introduce changes, large or small, it can be a slow and sometimes painful process. There will be individuals who oppose the changes and react negatively, but even for the supporters of change, The reality of making it happen can be challenging. The ADKAR model provides the 5 steps you need to follow in order to achieve lasting change. First of all, A stands for awareness. This is all about letting everyone know what is changing and how it will affect them. One way to convince people who resist change is to explain the danger of not changing at all. For example, perhaps profits will fall if no action is taken. Step 2 is desire. In other words, people need to accept that change is necessary and they have to feel motivated to support change. Of course, establishing awareness and desire is one thing, but making it happen is another. That's where knowledge comes in. Your staff will need to know how to change, what to do. Perhaps they will need training in new skills. So knowledge is part of a transitional stage which leads into the second A, that's ability. After getting the knowledge in stage 3, you still need to know if everyone is able to change and if there are any remaining barriers that will prevent change. Finally, and this is probably after many months or even years of hard work, you can implement your changes. But that isn't the end. Over time, people can revert to their old habits and ways of working. Stage 5 is reinforcement in order to maintain the changes. It means monitoring the processes you have in place and recognizing successes, perhaps giving incentives to staff.
Well, so,
Yeah,
yeah.
but I miss some words.
It's okay, no problem. So, do you want
Yeah.
to listen again, or you want to first give me the answers that you could find and then listen again? So it's your choice. You want to listen
I
again?
I think I can hear, but yeah, I missed some key, so yeah, I think I want to
Listen.
listen again.
Of course, why
Yeah,
not?
Unit
yeah.
11. 11.1.
Whenever companies and organizations introduce changes, large or small, it can be a slow and sometimes painful process. There will be individuals who oppose the changes and react negatively, but even for the supporters of change, the reality of making it happen can be challenging. The ADKAR model provides the 5 steps you need to follow in order to achieve lasting change. First of all, A stands for awareness. This is all about letting everyone know what is changing and how it will affect them. One way to convince people who resist change is to explain the danger of not changing at all. For example, perhaps profits will fall if no action is taken. Step 2 is desire. In other words, people need to accept that change is necessary and they have to feel motivated to support change. Of course, establishing awareness and desire is one thing, but making it happen is another. That's where knowledge comes in. Your staff will need to know how to change, what to do. Perhaps they will need training in new skills. So knowledge is part of a transitional stage which leads into the second A, that's ability. After getting the knowledge in stage 3, you still need to know if everyone is able to change and if there are any remaining barriers that will prevent change. Finally, and this is probably after many months or even years of hard work, you can implement your changes. But that isn't the end. Over time, people can revert to their old habits and ways of working. Stage 5 is reinforcement in order to maintain the changes. It means monitoring the processes you have in place and recognizing successes, perhaps giving incentives to staff.
Well, the first one, A for
Awareness,
awareness, very good. D for
design,
desire, very good. K for
knowledge,
knowledge, perfect. And the next one is A for
able to change.
Ability, of course. And the last one?
Yeah, ability. Yeah. Reinforcement.
Very good reinforcement. Perfect. Okay. Well, and now let's match a step in the AD, okay, KR or ADCAR model. And it's so interesting. So, because when we think about this, what is this ADCAR model
Yeah.
in two explanation 1 to 5, then listen and check. Okay, so we can now before listening, people need to accept that change is necessary and feel motivated to separate the change. So,
Desire.
desire, very good. Two,
Yeah. Make sure people don't reverse. Yeah. Away.
of working by monitoring
Yes.
processes and recognizing some.
Awareness.
No, make sure. So, like, try to separate them, try to by
Uh,
monitoring. So, it's like reinforcement. Yeah, isn't
yeah.
it? Of course. Yeah. And let people know what is changing and how it will affect them. Explain the dangers of not changing at all.
Awareness.
Awareness, very good. And check if everyone is able to change and remove any remaining barriers.
Ability.
Great. And your staff needs to know how to change and what to do. This might include training and new skills.
Knowledge.
Knowledge, perfect. Great. Okay, do you think the Atker model would work in your company? So what do you think about it?
Yeah, yeah. I think it work. But we I think it's the same. It's the same way when we do and when we change something in my company, for example, the structure or the internal process. But we do some small step that we the chain have to get a uh, s- uh, um, small win. That means employee need to know or need to get earlier the results of the chain.
Yeah.
That will make them motivate to do and to keep going in the next way to the chain journey.
Yes, definitely agree with you. So change is one side, and you know how you
Yeah,
let your employee or your staff actually to be aware of this change is completely different, and I think is more important because they need
yeah,
to be ready for everything if they want to
yeah,
accept it. Yes, I
yeah,
think adjusting the structure or internal process
yeah,
so it takes different steps. And
yeah,
then, of course, yeah. So if you want to see that quick result, a good result, so you need to keep them motivated, encouraged to continue moving forward. And yeah, that
yeah.
is really important. Yes, I definitely agree with you. Okay, and the last question, which of the five ADKAR steps do you think would be the most challenging one?
I think in my experience, age, ability, and able to change is very difficult
Yes.
because it only be be successful if employee they have knowledge and skill to make to make something in the new chair, because if they don't have the skill to do and to finish their job, it makes they easy to give up the
Yeah.
new way. Yeah,
Definitely agree with you. Yes, maybe the ability to adopt and accept new situation, new maybe changes, new condition can be really important. So yes, change is challenging. So change is
yeah,
challenging. And if they can accept, if they actually, as you said, skills to perform in the new system, Knowledge
Yeah,
and yeah, of course, and skills to perform in the new system is really important. If they lack the skills, required
yeah,
skills to complete their task, of course, so easily feel discouraged and give up. Yeah, I
yeah,
definitely agree with you. Well,
yeah,
okay, so
yeah,
that's it for now. Let's keep this
yeah.
topic. Do you have any questions? Like,
No, I don't.
okay, so thank you and have a great working day and see you next
Yeah,
session.
yeah. Thank you, and
You're
see you on.
welcome. Of
Yeah.
course, see
Bye.
you. Goodbye.
Yeah.